Hey, I'm Lara. Currently I'm working as a software developer at a company called Multiverse, and I've been working there for about 6 months, and Multiverse works to diversify future leaders by creating apprenticeships and partnering with really cool companies. And so in my current role, I'm working to build a platform where candidates can create a profile, upload a video of themselves to kind of demonstrate their skills, and then get matched with companies and apply for jobs there. If I were to describe my role currently in one sentence, it would be that I was working to help build a platform to solve real-world problems. Every day I'm doing coding. We work with lots of different technologies. For example, currently I'm working in Elixir, LiveView, Elm, and so you're always learning something new, which is great. Also, something else I love is there's lots of opportunities to do other things. You might need to write documentation, which is kind of a way of writing an explanation of the code that you've done for others to understand if they come across your code and work on it later. Also be creating diagrams to make sure that other people can understand what you're working on. It's really important in my role. There's a lot of communication, so making sure that you're all working together and everyone can understand all the different things everyone is working on. So currently I work in a prod tech team which has about 40 members in it. It's very exciting because the company is growing a lot at the moment, so there's constantly new people joining. From that 40, we're split into smaller teams. So I work in a closer team of 8 to 10 people, which is made up of product managers, designers, and other engineers. And the way we work together is we may have a feature which a stakeholder, and by stakeholder I mean another member of the company, may want to have built. For example, they might say, hey, we really want candidates to be able to upload videos to their profile. So this will be communicated to the product manager, and it's their job to kind of break up this work and communicate it to the rest of the team. They'll do things like prioritize when it can be done based on what other work is in progress, and then what kind of resources might be needed, how long it may take. And then what we'll do is we will break that into smaller chunks of work. Then the designer might do some research. They might interview people, see what users would expect to see on that page, what they may not expect to see. And then the designers will create designs based on that and prototypes, which they will share with the engineers. And it's the engineer's job to then create the product with a constant flow of communication and collaboration between everyone, constantly giving everyone feedback and making sure the stakeholder understands when that product might be released. What I really love about my role is I'm often working with lots of different people. Something we really like to do is called pair programming. So we'll pick up a piece of work together and we'll bounce ideas off about what kind of tech we can use, what might be the different approach. I might have one approach and another engineer might think in a different way. And so then we'll work together to complete the bit of work, and we'll make sure that it fits the requirements of the designs, what the stakeholders might want, and then once that bit of work is completed and tested, we'll pass it to other engineers who will also check our code to make sure it works. Once that's done, we'll push it to production, which is the live site, so that it's out there for everyone in the world to be able to use. And then we will often have feedback, we might need to make some changes. And what's really important for us is to kind of measure the long-term success and how effective something may be. To be a software engineer, you don't need any formal qualifications. What you do need is the skills that show that you really want to learn. You want to be keen to learn lots of different technologies, to not be afraid to learn from your mistakes, to be able to communicate and collaborate with those around you, and to just have the excitement to always be learning new things. I think for me, the top 3 skills that I think are important for fulfilling your role would be, firstly, collaboration. Every day we work alongside other engineers, designers, product managers, other members of the team, and I think it's really important that you're willing to help each other out, be helped by others, and really have different perspectives of problems when you're trying to solve them. I think the second most important characteristic might be communication. There's always a lot of different tasks you need to complete, and I think it's really important that you can make sure that everyone understands what those tasks are, what challenges you might face, be able to kind of bounce off different viewpoints from each other. And then I think the last and maybe the most important is being willing to try new things out, learn from your mistakes. Everyone, including me, starts from a point of not knowing much about coding, but that's completely fine. You've got to be willing. There's so many amazing resources out there. Google is my best friend. And so I think making sure that you're reading up with all the up-to-date tech, you're trying things out. If something goes wrong, you can take the feedback on board, and just always wanting to improve. There's a lot of things that I find really fun about my job. A lot of the kind of social aspects of the work we do. I work in a great team. There's a lot of different characters, and so going to work every day is always great. We also do a lot of social events. So for example, in the team, we might go for crazy golf. We might do virtual socials because a lot of our team is based around the UK. And there's also company-wide events. So for example, there's different talks. At the moment, there's a series on well-being. And then we also have something that's newly been introduced called My Multiverse Days, where you're able to go and spend one day per quarter focusing on something that you love. And it doesn't have to be job related. It can be a time for you to explore hiking, painting, anything you want. So there's a lot of things that make going to work every day really exciting on top of my day job as an engineer, which I love. So I think something that's pretty unique to engineering and something that I find really enjoyable at the moment is the ability to try out lots of new things and to experiment with so many different technologies. You can almost think up any idea in your head and you will find a way to be able to build it. There's, for engineering, a huge community online, and everyone is very willing to help out. You can post a question on different websites like Stack Overflow, and in no time you'll have a response. And so I think for me, something that I find just quirky and great is that you can have any idea, and if you use the resources around you, you can see that idea materialize. In terms of my future in software development, as a woman in the tech industry, it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I would love in the future to work towards encouraging more women to be developers, because it's definitely a career for everyone. Before I became a software engineer, I'd heard lots of different myths and misconceptions that software engineers had to be amazing at maths. They had to be certain characteristics, but this definitely is not the case. Anyone could be a software engineer, and as long as you're willing to learn, you want to pick up new skills, there are definitely no barriers. I was a primary school teacher before, and I've done lots of different things. And so I think if it's something you're remotely interested in, give it a go, because it's great and it's really exciting and you can do so many different things with it.